Your lead story this half hour, the ANC has asked South Africans to give it another mandate when they go to the polls on Wednesday. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa told supporters at Ellis Park Stadium in Johannesburg that the party wants to build on progress made over the past 25 years. He had apologized for mistakes made along the way.
Comrade security, please close that gate.
It was always going to be a show of force by the governing party, filling up the 60,000-seater with the nearby Johannesburg Stadium as an overflow.
Johannesburg Stadium, viva! Viva Ellis Park, viva!
The final push in the hotly contested election. In power for 25 years, the ANC is touting its experience to revive the economy.
We have listened closely with great humility. Where we have been found wanting, we accept the criticism that is being leveled against us. Where we have made mistakes, we are humble enough to acknowledge the mistakes without any qualification. We admit that we have made mistakes, and we put ourselves before our people and say, yes, we have made mistakes, but it is only those who are doing nothing who don't make mistakes.
The ANC leader said after the poll, it would no longer be business as usual. He promised tough action on wrongdoing.
Let us declare here and now that we will not submit and we will not retreat, that we will fight with every means at our disposal to ensure that those who occupy positions of authority serve only the public interest and our people, not their own pockets and not themselves.
Having enjoyed electoral dominance, the ANC promises to retain the status as it continues to fashion itself as the voice of the people. Many in attendance have high hopes.
After election, I want to see job creation, and after that, I want them to deal with those nyaupe things because it's killing our brothers and sisters.
After elections, we want electricity at our community and houses and water.
We need to see the leaders with integrity, the leadership with integrity, the organization that we are going to vote for it, so that it must be then having those integrity and to be honest.
The 2019 elections will see a record number of 48 parties contesting for national representation. Hard-fought campaigns were run. It's now in the hands of the electorate. Mzondile Mbej, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Meanwhile, former ANC President Jacob Zuma attended the party's Siyanqoba rally in Pietermaritzburg in KwaZulu-Natal. He told supporters that voting for any other party would be tantamount to throwing away their votes. Zuma joined the ANC's drive from the outset, primarily galvanizing support in his home province. The party supporters said that while they still had faith in the ANC, a lot needs to change. Well, from free education to increased grants and land for women, these were some of the promises made by EFF leader Julius Malema at the party's final campaign event today. The Tela Tupa rally in Soweto drew thousands of red berets from far and wide.
Flexing its political muscle, Orlando Stadium painted red. The Red Berets revving up support ahead of a crucial poll. Despite his family bereavement, Julius Malema welcomed with much fanfare. He took a moment to pay tribute to his grandmother, who passed away on Saturday.
My grandmother meant everything to me. I am because of her. If it was not of her contribution, I will not be anything.
And why voters should vote for the EFF.
The future of South Africa is in the jobs, is in the land. We are here to serve our people.
The promise to voters, free education and an increase in social grants and land.
Under EFF government, women will own more than 50% of the land because they are the majority in South Africa.
In a swipe at the ruling party and its leader.
Ramaphosa ufedile. Hayo dishadikomu skamkhotsi wa Zuma. They are all old. They must go to old age or straight to prison.
Malema made an impassioned appeal for an EFF endorsement on Wednesday.
With the EFF going into its second election, the party is confident the numbers and enthusiasm here will be an indication of its support at the ballot box. The EFF's performance will be closely watched to see if it has gained the traction polls are predicting. SABC News in Soweto.
IFP leader Nkosi Mangosuthu Buthelezi urged party members to stay vigilant to ensure free and fair poll. While speaking at a rally in Ulundi in KwaZulu-Natal, Buthelezi said the process of voting was not closely monitored and that votes could be manipulated.
The IFP faithful descended on Ulundi, the atmosphere festive and supporters confident.
We need more jobs, opportunities, more and more. There are many graduates in Ulundi, so we need more jobs, especially in this nowadays.
I know Shanga's track record. We have faith in him. We are eagerly awaiting for his rule. We are what we are because of Shange.
Buthelezi cautioned voters to be careful about who they decide to trust with their votes. He said party agents had their work cut out for them.
You need to stay vigilant because we know that our opponents are not averse to manipulating the outcome. It happened before many times with all sorts of shenanigans, like missing ballot papers, like putting food under the lunch of the agents in plastic with already marked ballot papers. All sorts of electoral fraud and intimidation.
Buthelezi criticized the governing ANC, saying it had failed South Africans. IFP leader Mangosuthu Buthelezi believes that this has been an excellent and positive campaign for his party. Buthelezi says they have tabled what he calls a tangible and practical plan for South Africans. The Inkatha leader says the rest is now up to the voters. Simpiwe Makanya, SABC News, Ulundi.
Well, former leaders of the National Freedom Party who had defected to other parties did so because the party lost faith in their leadership. Well, this was the sentiment expressed by party leaders at the party's final rally in Ebanyoni in Nongoma in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Of the party's 6 members of parliament, 4 resigned recently.
A sea of orange as NFP supporters gather for the final rally. The party, which was a breakaway from the IFP, showed great potential when it was formed in 2006. But its problems began when its founder and leader, Kamagwaza Msibi, fell ill in 2014. Internal battles saw the party losing support and even failing to contest the 2016 elections. On the eve of this election, the party is also now facing an exodus of prominent leaders who led different factions of the NFP.
Anyone, anywhere is of value. We need everyone in the party, so as any other political organization. So we can boldly say we would not wish to lose any other members, but we understand that in politics, as much as we recruit every day, as much as we join new members, we expect to lose some.
Today, in the final push for votes, Kamagwaza Msibi reassured supporters, though, that the current challenges within the party will soon be a thing of the past.
In its final message ahead of Wednesday's election, the Congress of the People warned against land expropriation without compensation. A COPE leader, Mosela Kota, was campaigning in Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria.
COPE's final bid to woo voters, the party opted to visit Hammanskraal due to the ongoing water crisis in the area.
We are from a house now where the resident showed us the dirty water. That's why we are here, to come and give the people hope.
The party is standing firm on its position regarding land expropriation.
To take anybody's property without compensation can only explode afresh the conflicts that we had seen for centuries coming to this point. And because we want lasting peace in this country, it will not be allowed. It must not be done by force. It must be done with compensation.
COPE has 3 seats in Parliament. It joined the political race in 2009 with 37 seats. Ongoing infighting has since seen its support dwindling. The party is hopeful it will win back support. Patricia Fasage, SABC News in Hammanskraal, outside Pretoria.
We're explorers. We always have been. Endlessly curious. Always looking for answers. For new frontiers. For new stories. Because that is who we are. From script to screen. From yelling action to taking you on a journey. Radio producers. Script writers. On-air presenters. News reporters. Sports analysts. We spend late nights creating captivating storylines and earlier mornings keeping you informed, educated, and entertained. For us, it's not a job, it's a calling. We do this and more because you do your part. SABC TV licenses, made possible by you.
We've seen that Brent crude oil rise about 30% this year alone.
Brent crude that's going steadily firmer speaks to a global economy that's in good shape. What we don't want to see are supply interruptions or sudden spikes.
The Bank of Athens has become GrowBank. It plans to be a bank using digital and personable relations with its customers in the agricultural and food value chain space.
We're a lucky bank in that we are small. We're already working with artificial intelligence that allow us to manage our customer data.
Agriculture is a business. If we're going to take people, millions of them out of poverty, we've got to turn agriculture into a mega sector that works for everybody.
25 years ago, it was a vote for hope for a new nation. It was about rejoining the global family. This time, it's about bread and butter issues, about corruption, jobs, societal ills, and social cohesion. Then and now, always there, when South Africa decides.
Welcome back. Congregants, religious leaders and political parties attended a pre-election prayer service in New Brighton, Port Elizabeth. The service was hosted by the Zion Council of Churches.
A prayer for 25 years of democracy. Church members united despite their political affiliations. The AIC, DA and ANC were in attendance. Hymns echoed a peaceful message. But there was also confusion. The AIC sent a press release stating that it was their event. But church leaders are adamant that it was not.
To be honest and straightforward, the program that is here, the event, is for the Zion Council of Churches, not AIC. AIC. It's not a political issue, it's the church issue. We invite politicians to be part of the prayer as they are going to lead the country. We call them so that we can pray for them.
The AIC later backtracked.
For that was the case, I should think that need to be clarified, as I have said already, that this is an event for the church, is not the event of the AIC.
Young and old made their voices heard.
In our country right now, we need to change, and then in the future we have to have a better life for our children and our fathers and our mothers too.
We don't mean one party, but all the parties to come together so that there can be everything in South Africa. There can be right, there can be friendship for our country.
It's very important that we unite, then vote for the right government who will govern to improve the economy of the country.
Church's role in the fight for freedom was acknowledged. During apartheid, it was focused on achieving a free, just and equal society. In the democratic era, it's shifted to championing moral renewal in society. Jade Lee Paulser, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.
Western Cape Premier Helen Zille says a vote for the DA will bring change and fast-track service delivery. Campaigning in Port Elizabeth, she told supporters to pray for ANC leader Cyril Ramaphosa, but vote for DA leader Ms. Maimane.
Zille and DA supporters in a jovial mood. Her message simple: vote DA to bring a job in every home. She says the DA manifesto promises equal opportunities for all. Zille said the DA was determined to win back Nelson Mandela Bay municipality.
Well, if people want progress and if they want delivery, the only sensible choice is to vote for the Democratic Alliance. It's as simple as that. People in Nelson Mandela Bay have seen that more clearly than almost any other place in South Africa, because they had DA governance for 2 years. And in the space of that very short time, the DA made a fundamental difference in this city, saved hundreds of millions, over 600 million rand.
DA supporters want change in the Nelson Mandela Bay region.
Yeah, I think as a young person who believes in the future of the country, the DA is the only party that presents a better future and the hope for South Africa.
They're the only party that cut corruption, that look after everybody, everyone in South Africa counts.
The Pan-Africanist Congress has urged voters who envisage the return of the land to vote it into power. The PAC's closing rally was at Ngane in the Eastern Cape.
The PAC took to the streets of Qentane in a last bid to galvanize support, followed by a rally in a packed hall. The land issue was at the center of its campaign.
Kaloku, we did not fight for democracy, we fought for land. I-democracy ayihluthisi, kodwa umhlaba uyahluthisa. We fought for land. Nangoku umntana olilayo apha awunathi awulila umnika i-democracy athuke, because i-democracy ayihluthisi. Ayityiwi i-democracy.
Young and old say they are pinning their hopes on PAC to restore their dignity.
But now I'm an eligible voter. I'll be voting for the PAC because the PAC has been speaking what the revolution was found on. We are landless. We go to institutions of higher learning and education. Sifika singabi nazindawo zohlala. Sifika singabikho represented because of the monopoly capitalist system. The PAC has been saying the same thing since 1959, and we are still clear on our stand. We want land. African people can never be liberated without land.
Everybody there is a thief. It is good that it is not the PAC who saying that. They are pointing fingers to one another, the rulers themselves. So PAC must be there to defend the oppressed and the exploited.
The PAC criticized the three leading parties, the ANC, DA and EFF, accusing them of lacking the political will to liberate Africans. Athule Joga, SABC News, Qentane.
Hello, I'm Nana, and I want to tell you a bit about Economics Unbound. It is a live studio current affairs program that brings an understanding of the economy, how it operates, and how it is managed. The show seeks to include ordinary South Africans in purposeful and well-informed discussions about the economy.
The whole corruption and having to pay people to get businesses, it's like killing our businesses.
While providing them with enough information to make better economic and financial decisions.
And we need to start thinking of new ways of creating new structures that are relevant at the time.
Through this program, audiences can look forward to 30 minutes of deep and tough questioning on the issues of the week.
Why do you think that our economy lends itself to such collusive behavior and such concentration of monopolies in key sectors?
This is the SABC News Channel, independent and impartial.
When news happens around the world, we will bring it to you. We will keep you informed. Each day, every day, our news team digs deeper, getting all the facts to provide comprehensive reports to what's important to you. We cover all corners of the globe. SABC News, independent and impartial.
Welcome back. You're watching News at 9. The United Democratic Movement in the Free State has promised to do away with the undignified bucket system if voted into power. The party conducted a door-to-door campaign in Botshabelo, east of Bloemfontein, in its final push for undecided voters. UDM Free State chairperson Stephen Lebeko promised a government free of corruption.
We have been living here for many years. We voted in the time of Nelson Mandela with promises that everything would be done for us. Other leaders took over after him and they all continued to promise us that we would flourish.
As a leader of this organization in the Free State, I'm going to make sure that the lives of the people that are in the doldrum are changed to the better.
ZAPO wrapped up its election campaign in Sebokeng in the Vaal. Well, the IEC says that a month after the launch of a pilot project to combat digital disinformation, it has received more than 70 complaints via the online reporting platform. In a statement, the IEC says of the complaints received, 34 have been finalized, and to date, no instances of deliberate disinformation have been found by the committee set up to assess these complaints. With almost 23,000 voting stations set to open over the next 3 days or so for the special votes, the IEC has also appealed for a reduction in political activities to allow the space for voting to take place peacefully. Let's go back to that story. Of course, ZAPO also wrapped up its election campaign in Sebokeng in the Vaal today.
Gunning for last-minute support, ZAPO promised free Wi-Fi and data to the youth and jobs for unemployed graduates. The party says it will focus on issues affecting ordinary people.
We are not living in the past, we are also living in the present, we are also living in the future. That should they choose this feast, they would not have gone wrong. This is the feast to take them forward and to give them something. We don't want to fight against crime in an amorphous way. We must arrest those who are involved in criminal activity. In fact, we're asking Zondo to do it right now, not after 2 years.
After losing the only seat it secured in 2014 elections, ZAPO is confident.
If the people can give us 10%, we'll be so excited. But it is everybody's game. We all want more and more seats in Parliament. Definitely going there, we are going, but we want to go there in big numbers so that we can become very effective.
Hoping for a parliamentary comeback, ZAPO is contesting in all 9 provinces. Refilo Mofokeng, SABC News, Sebokeng.